Om Namah Shri Adirajaya Vivekananda Suraye Satchit Sukhaswarupaya Swamine Tapaharine Swamine Tapaharine. Last time we saw Swamiji's lecture at Paramakudi, and now Swamiji is proceeding towards Madurai, and on the way he has been welcomed by the zamindars and citizens of Shivagangai and Mana Madurai. So we'll be seeing his talk given in reply to the welcome by those people. Reply to the address of welcome at Shivagangai and Manamadurai. At Manamadurai, the following address of welcome from the zamindars and citizens of Shivaganga and Manamadura was presented to the Swami. To Sri Swami Vivekananda. Most revered Sir, we, the zamindars and citizens of Shivaganga and Manamadura, beg to offer you a most hearty welcome. In the most sanguine moments of our life, in our wildest dreams, we never contemplated that you, who were so near to our hearts, would be in such close proximity to our homes. The first wire intimating your inability to come to Shivaganga cast deep gloom on our hearts. And but for the subsequent silver lining to the cloud, our disappointment would have been extreme. When we first heard that you had consented to honor our town with your presence, we thought we had realized our highest ambition. The mountain promised to come to Muhammad, and our joy knew no bounds. But when the mountain was obliged to withdraw its consent, and our worst fears were roused that we might not be able even to go to the mountain, you were graciously pleased to give way to our importunities. Despite the almost insurmountable difficulties of the voyage, the noble self-sacrificing spirit with which you have conveyed the grandest message of the East to the West, the masterly way in which the mission has been executed, and the marvelous and unparalleled success which has crowned your philanthropic efforts have earned for you an undying glory. At a time when Western breadwinning materialism was making the strongest inroads on Indian religious convictions, when the sayings and writings of our sages were beginning to be numbered, the advent of a new master like you has already marked an era in the annals of religious advancement. And we hope that in the fullness of time, you will succeed in disintegrating the dross that is temporarily covering the genuine gold of Indian philosophy, and casting it in the powerful mint of your intellect will make it current coin throughout the whole globe. So we will see that Swamiji will be replying. His reply will have this point in mind when Swamiji will give the reply. The Catholicity with which you were able triumphantly to bear the flag of Indian philosophic thought among the heterogeneous religionists assembled in the Parliament of Religions enables us to hope that at no distant date you, just like your contemporary in the political sphere, will rule an empire over which the sun never sets. So they are referring to the fact that the British Empire used to boast themselves that the sun never sets on the empire. So much vast, so much widespread their colonial empire was. So the Queen of Britain, she was praised that your empire is so big that the sun never sets on it. So the same praise, these people of Shivagangai and Manamadurai, they are also comparing Swamiji to the Queen of Britain, who is a political queen, and Swamiji, they are telling, you are a spiritual king. Though they are in a political field, they are great, but you are a spiritual king, of whose kingdom is so widespread that the sun would never set on that kingdom. So this kind of praise as compared to those days, the communications and in general technology and other facilities, the kind of popularity that Swamiji had even in those days, it can be really said that his that kingdom, spiritual kingdom, was really so vast. As she has beaten all records in political history by the length and beneficence of her reign, so we earnestly pray to the Almighty that you will be spared long enough to consummate the labor of love that you have so disinterestedly undertaken, and thus to outshine all your predecessors in spiritual history. We are, most revered Sir, your most dutiful and devoted servants. So we always see all through, since Swamiji had landed in Colombo, then at Panban, then at Rameshwaram, then our Ramanathapuram, then at Paramakudi, everywhere the people have welcomed him with great emotion, with with highest regards in their hearts, and every expression of them, every word they used, every sentence they used to express that is really it's a gem in itself. The language they use, it's a very precious language. It's a gem of a language that they use in welcoming and praising Swamiji, a sannyasi. And that's what every time Swamiji also reciprocated. So far Swamiji is also telling them that what was good in them, what was genuine in them, that should be protected by all means. What is your tradition? What is your main strength as a country, as a religion? So Swamiji kept on telling all this while we saw that we see a little kind of a little deviation from his we can say from his attitude so far he was continuously emphasizing the need for Indian masses to believe in themselves, to believe in their greatness, to believe in their God knows how much long history. Nobody knows how far back we can go in the history. So thousands and thousands of years of ancient history. And that Swamiji has been praising all the while. That you see, you have survived this. And just like every person has a character, every blood has its own genes. Just like that, your country has its own genes, which lie in religion, which lie in spirituality, which lie in renunciation. And that cannot be undone, that cannot be given up. Whatever you may think that the Western ideals posed to you in front of you by the onslaught of colonialism and the technological developments, the material developments, the scientific developments that have been thrust upon you by the colonial rule, you may be thinking, you may be getting attracted to it, you may be wanting to leave your own age-old ideals for the sake of those glittering, silvery-looking ideals, material ideals, but you won't be able to do that. Why? Because you cannot renounce yourself. That is yourself. This Indian religion, that Indian culture, that Indian tradition, your orthodoxy, all this is what your being is. It is your being. It has gone into your marrow. So how can you give up your very bones? How can you give up your very flesh? So you cannot do that. So that is what Swamiji was telling all the while. Now we will see what reply Swamiji gives to this praise that has been offered to him. The Swami's reply was as follows. I cannot express the deep debt of gratitude which you have laid upon me by the kind and warm welcome which has just been accorded to me by you. Unfortunately, I am not just now in a condition to make a very big speech. However much I may wish it. In spite of the beautiful adjectives which our Sanskrit friend has been so kind to apply to me, I have a body after all, foolish though it may be, and the body always follows the promptings, conditions, and laws of matter. As such, there is such a thing as fatigue and weariness as regards the material body. So Swamiji was proceeding towards Madurai, and when he was proceeding there, he stopped at Manamadura, and there he told that I am so tired, I am so weary and fatigued that I cannot proceed to Shivagangai, and that's why you people please come here. Those people who were waiting for him to welcome him in Shivaganga, Swamiji sent the message, it seems, that you please come here and let us here we come together, let us gather together here itself and address to the gatherings, so that it will shorten my requirement of being present there in Shivagangai and having a separate speech and separate traveling. So this will be saving me from my exertion. So this is what Swamiji did, and those people then they came to Manamadura, and so that's why this lecture has been initially it is said that to the Zamindars and citizens of Shivaganga and Manamadura, both. So both have come together there to welcome Swamiji, because Swamiji could not separately travel to both these places, so he requested them to come. And that's why he is already fatigued, he is already tired, because continuously Swamiji is talking to thousands of people. He is continuously traveling, and he is not traveling by plane, he is not traveling by separate car or something. He has to travel with the basic means that were available those days. So with all the crowd that he had, with all the companions that he had, so you can imagine what must be the terrible condition that he must be facing as considering the physical body. He must not be getting a rest of even 1 hour in 24 hours, because day and night people must be coming to meet him at every step, at every corner, at every stage. So you can imagine a person who is already tired by traveling by ship. The ship travel must not be a very comfortable one in those days. So that way also he must be very tired. Plus he has to continuously talk to people, travel, walk or whatever. So these things you must understand that how much tired he must be. So his request for those people to come to Manamadurai must be justified. And then he proceeds. It is a great thing to see the wonderful amount of joy and appreciation expressed in every part of the country for the little work that has been done by me in the West. I look at it only in this way. I want to apply it to those great souls who are coming in the future. If the little bit of work that has been done by me receives such approbation from the nation, what must be the approbation that the spiritual giants, the world movers coming after us will get from this nation? India is the land of religion. The Hindu understands religion and religion alone. Centuries of education have always been in that line. And the result is that it is the one concern in life. And you all know well that it is so. It is not necessary that everyone should be a shopkeeper. It is not necessary even that everyone should be a schoolmaster. It is not necessary that everyone should be a fighter. But in this world, there will be different nations producing the harmony of result. So, Swamiji says that what you are giving me, the praises, that I disown them because I think that I am just a beginner of that movement of great spiritual people that are about to come in the future. And I am just a representative of them, and you are offering that all those praises and all those adjectives and admirations actually to them, and I am receiving them as just a representative, as it were, Swamiji is telling. So Swamiji is always of the temperament of disowning anything, any praise coming to him. Right from the time of Narendranath, when he was sitting in front of Sri Ramakrishna in his small room, in the Dakshineshwar, in the Kali temple of Dakshineshwar, Kolkata, then there also, whenever Sri Ramakrishna used to praise, Narendra is such a great, Narendra is a rishi, born for the good of the world, and such, so many superlatives Sri Ramakrishna used to offer to Narendra, such a young boy that time. And other devotees who used to be gathered, they used to feel odd that why Sri Ramakrishna is praising like that. He is just a boy, and he is praising him that he is not even Keshav Chandra Sen, who was, in those days, he was one of the famous person of Bengal, and such a person, and he used to compare that Keshav Chandra Sen is nothing in front of Narendra, and people used to get shocked. What is he talking? That Narendra is nobody, and Keshav is such a big person. He is a celebrity, and he sits and dines with the Queen of England. When Keshav Chandra visited England, Queen had invited him to dine with her. So such a big his name was in Bengal. And that person is being compared to Narendra Nath or big those days big people. Sri Ramakrishna is telling Narendra Nath, what if they are if they are of their powers, or if their glory is of 1% or of one quantity, Narendra Nath is 16 quantity. Like that, some these superlative praises. Then they used to be baffled. Why he is so much praising? And if Narendra Nath is sitting there, he will quietly escape that room. He will go away. So when Sri Ramakrishna is praising him, if we are there, anybody among us, we will be stuck there. We will be very much interested to listen to all the praise that is coming. And we will be puffed up after getting that praise. And we will not only be puffed up, we will go out, catch other people by the collar and tell them, hey, I am so, Sri Ramakrishna is telling, I am so great. So we will be exactly reverse. So we will be catching people and harassing them to tell our glory to them. They see, I am so great. Sri Ramakrishna tells about me, I am so great. And they will be irritated by our so much praise of ourselves. But exactly reverse is Narendra. He scolds Sri Ramakrishna. Why are you talking like this? It looks nonsense. See, I am just a boy, college going boy, and you are telling in front of very dignified people, educated gentlemen, that like this. It doesn't look good. You are praising like this. It looks nonsense. Something. Then Sri Ramakrishna, you don't know, but I know. You may not believe me, but I know that you are so great like that. Then he says, okay, anyway, I cannot convince this person. He is beyond my control. So he just leaves it there. But this is his nature. The moment he is praised, Swamiji gives the praise to others. He immediately distributes the praise. As if it is a prasada, we immediately get and distribute to all of us. That is what his nature is. That's why he became Swami Vivekananda. Then he continues. Well, perhaps we are fated by divine providence to play the spiritual note in this harmony of nations. And it rejoices me to see that we have not yet lost the grand traditions which have been handed down to us by the most glorious forefathers, of whom any nation can be proud. It gives me hope. It gives me adamantine faith in the destiny of the race. It cheers me, not for the personal attention paid to me, but to know that the heart of the nation is there and is still sound. India is still living. Who says she is dead? But the West wants to see us active. If they want to see us active on the field of battle, they will be disappointed. That is not our field. Just as we would be disappointed if we hope to see a military nation active on the field of spirituality. But let them come here and see that we are equally active, how the nation is living and is as alive as ever. We should dispel the idea that we have degenerated at all. So far, so good. So please leave this idea, he says, that you are degenerated, you are filthy people, you are ignorant, you are illiterate, because Indian people have started believing that. Because they don't know the technology of making guns or cannons or fighting battles with the advanced weapons that British had. So they thought, oh, that means we are really foolish people, that we are stupid people. We don't know anything. We are good for nothing. So then Swami says, don't think like that. Your speciality is different. So everybody cannot be a shopkeeper and everybody cannot be a fighter, that he said in previous paragraph. So if some person is abused because he cannot put up a shop and sell some things. Oh, you cannot be a shopkeeper. What a useless person you are. Then it is a completely weird thing to happen, that if you will judge a person because he cannot do a particular thing, but you won't see what his expertise is in what field his expertise. So every person should be judged by his own standards, Swamiji says in other places. So what he says, everybody should be judged by his own standards. You cannot be judged by my standards. My standards are different, my expertise is different, and your expertise is different. How two persons, two nations, two races can be compared on the same standard? It is impossible, it is absurd. So the same thing he is telling, that don't think just because invaders come and tell you every now and then that you are useless people, you don't know anything, you are poor, you are hungry people. So don't believe in that. That may be, we may be having our own faults. That's what he is going to talk now. What are your faults? But that doesn't mean that you are totally good for nothing. So he is trying to tell where are our faults now. That is now our discussion goes. But now I have to say a few harsh words. Now Swamiji changes his attitude. So far he was always telling Indian masses and Hindus what was their great qualities. But now somehow within this weariness, tiredness and fatigue, Swamiji has suddenly got mood now, that no, I must scold these people. I must point out their fault. You see, somebody, if he is fatigued and tired, what he will choose otherwise? Okay, anyway, I am tired today, so I need not unnecessarily make a heated debate or argument or anything. I will just say thanks to them and praise them 2 words, and then I will finish the speech. But he is not like that. Suddenly, as if he has gone into the mode of scolding Hindus. That what is your fault? You see, what he says. But now I have to say a few harsh words, which I hope you will not take unkindly. For the complaint has just been made that European materialism has well-nigh swamped us. It is not all the fault of the Europeans, but a good deal our own. We as Vedantists must always look at things from an introspective viewpoint, from its subjective relations. We as Vedantists know for certain that there is no power in the universe to injure us unless we first injure ourselves. So Swamiji is telling, we are Vedantists. We are the most ancient religion. And what we believe in the Vedanta, that we are the soul, infinite immortal. We are imperishable. So what is our aim? So whatever is happening to us, it cannot happen because of somebody else. Because we don't believe in anything apart from Atman. If the Atman alone is abiding, then who else is there to fault? There must be a fault within something. So that's what he is concentrating. So we are the introspective people. We never went out. Whatever solution of the problem we wanted, we went inside to the Atman. And to the Atman we went and asked the solution. And it came from within. Always. For thousands of years. All the problems were solved from within, never from without. So this was that's why we are surviving. That always we have gone inside of us and came out with some solution. So this time also, let us go with the same approach. That you are telling that European materialism, in their welcome speech they had mentioned about praising Swamiji, that see, in this onslaught of materialism by Western European you are the person who is upholding the flag of Indian spirituality. Then he is saying, who is at fault? If European materialism is his onslaught is there, who is at fault? We are ourselves are at fault. That is what he is pointing out. Then he says, 1/5 of the population of India have become Mohammedans. Just as before that, going further back, 2/3 of the population in ancient times had become Buddhists. 1/5 are now Mohammedans. Christians are already more than 1 million. So Swamiji is telling, in those days also, the same proportion that we find today is the same percentage. It has just grown. The percentage has remained the same. The population has multiplied in the same proportion. So Swamiji is telling, is warning them, see what is happening. Already you are being consumed by the other religions, and they are already trying to completely consume you. Already they have consumed you 1/5. And you are sitting here blaming Europeans that see European materialism, that is onslaught of European materialism and all this. What you are doing for yourself? You are just putting hands, and then you are just complaining that, see, Europeans are doing like this, this is what you are doing for yourself. That is what we have to see. Now he is scolding. Then he continues, whose fault is it? One of our historians says in ever memorable language, why should these poor wretches starve and die of thirst when the perennial fountain of life is flowing by? The question is, what did we do for these people who forsook their own religion? So Swamiji is telling, if there is a perennial fountain of this nourishment is there, nourishment, fountain of Vedanta, the perennial philosophy of Vedanta, this such a energizing, such a strength-giving philosophy of Vedanta is there, perennially, ancient philosophy. Still, why people are hungry for religion here? Why they are going and changing their religion? If the Vedanta philosophy, the most time-tested philosophy, the religion of the Hindus is there, why should they feel the need to change their religion at all? So the question must be asked that what did we do? That means we did not do something that we should have done. For the people who forsook their religion, those who are changing the religion to Mohammedanism or Christianity, why they are being forced to do so? That means the fault lies with us, Swamiji wants to say, pinpointed. Why should they have become Mohammedans? I heard of an honest girl in England who was going to become a street walker. When a lady asked her not to do so, her reply was, that is the only way I can get sympathy. I can find none to help me now. But let me be a fallen, downtrodden woman, and then perhaps merciful ladies will come and take me to a home and do everything they can for me. So Swamiji is given an example that in England, when he was there, he had heard of a certain girl who was choosing her life of becoming a street walker, of a fallen girl, of doing such things as a fallen woman will do. But one lady tries to prevent her from doing so. What answer she gives? At least after becoming such a woman, a street woman, at least I will get sympathy. Oh, she was a good girl, but now she has taken to this. Those other ladies will come, high society ladies will come, and they will try to sympathize with me. Oh, you were such a good woman, and you have chosen this path now. So we are very sorry. Why did you do that? No, they will come gathering around. At least then they will give attention to me. Now nobody is looking for me. Nobody is caring if I am hungry, if I am thirsty, how I am surviving. Now nobody asks me. But at least then they will come to ask me. Then they will come to care for me. When I give up the good way of life, when I go when I spoil my life myself, then people will come and sympathize with me. So the same thing, Swamiji is giving an analogy that same thing is happening with the Hindus. Those castes in the Hinduism that were treated totally unsympathetically. They were treated, they were tormented, they were tortured, they were harassed, and they were trampled. So nobody sympathized with them, nobody cared for their existence, their hunger, their thirst. And then when they are converting into other religions, then we are becoming suddenly alarmed. Hey, what is this happening? So then we are suddenly getting this sensation and this awareness. So many millions are converting into Mohammedanism and Christianity. What is the use of you are being alarmed just by that? You have to change. You have to find out where the fault is. You look within, introspect within, and then you will find that the fault was within yourself. Because you treated your own people like that. That's why they had to go to other religions to find sympathy, to find love, to find care. Because the moment Swamiji used to give that example, the moment some pariah has come, you won't even touch him. You won't even tolerate his shadow. You won't even give him a glass of water. But the moment he converts to Christianity and he wears a coat and tie and a shoe, you will immediately welcome, please sir, please come. And you will not only give him water, you will offer everything to him with great respect. So what happened yesterday? He was a pariah. He was untouchable. And today, just because he changed his name to some John or something and put a tie and coat, so suddenly he becomes somebody who is very respectable. So this is what your brain is. Swamiji is scolding them. This is what your mentality is. Narrow-minded, so much small-minded people that you are. That you are despising your own people. You are hating your own people. You should have taken them into your fold. You should have accepted them. You should have given them respect. You should have treated them with love and care. You should have asked for their inconveniences. You should have worked for their discomforts. But what did you do? In fact, you put them into more inconvenience. You put them into more discomfort. Whatever their problems were there, you never bothered about them. In fact, you increased their problems. Then where they will go? They have to go somewhere to save themselves. Then they chosen this path. This was easy path, they found it. If I change into Islam or Christianity, I will be respected. I will be given all rights. Now you see, we all see now. Everywhere in India, they are the most precious people now. They are the most cared for people. Every right is given to them, which was not given to them yesterday. Yesterday they were not even asked whether they are living or dead. Nobody was asking them. Now, even all the governments are going with folded hands to their house and they are asking them, sir, what do you need? Any problem is there to you? Any inconvenience is there? Can we do something for you? If something happens to them, even a scratch, if happens to them, immediately so many people will run to them, to serve them, to cover it, to cover the wound, to bandage the wound. Now such as Swamiji is telling, see, you people are not introspecting. Your society, you have divided so much. You did not care for your society. And that is what is happening. So he continues. We are weeping for these renegades now. But what did we do for them before? Let every one of us ask ourselves, what have we learned? Have we taken hold of the torch of truth? And if so, how far did we carry it? We did not help them then. This is the question we should ask ourselves. That we did not do so was our own fault, our own karma. Let us blame none. Let us blame our own karma. So let us understand this fact. Now here Swamiji is not hating any religion. This we have to understand. He is not hating other religions. He is not demeaning them here. He is not telling that Islam or Christianity or any other Buddhists also he quoted that they are inferior or they are not bad. No. What he's saying, every religion Swamiji respected, and in the West Swamiji always preached Christianity to Christian people. He preached the words of Christ. In the language of the Christ, he conveyed his ideas to the Christian people. So such a person, but when he comes to the Hindus, he will know what is pinching, where the shoe pinches. So he knows where is the problem for the Hindus. Then he has to address it that way. There he cannot consider, no, all religions are equal, and that this is not the context. This is not the place to preach that all religions are equal and all no. All religions may be equal, but this India is meant for Vedantists. India is meant for Sanatana Dharma and a Vedantic religion. This place is not for those religions. There are places, let them thrive there. So Swamiji is coming back to India, and Swamiji is here addressing Indians. So here we should not think, we should not make a short circuit of ideas that, oh, Swamiji was such a universal man, Swamiji was such a person who would never blame any other religion or any other persons. So how he is telling like that? So we should not confuse between this thing. The equality of religions is at other place. It has its own context and it has its own audience. And this place, Swamiji is talking to the audience what is most necessary to be talked about. So that we have to understand. We should not confuse and we should not misinterpret Swamiji here. Because, see, in India, as Swamiji is telling, India's stronghold is spirituality and religion and renunciation, and which has been upheld by the Vedantic religion only, by the Sanatana Dharma only, by the Vedic religion only. So, here it should not be consumed by other religions. Here it should be protected by tooth and nail. Whatever it happens, India should stick to its Vedantic religion only. It should not be converted to other religions. Here, the good religions that Swamiji believes and Swamiji preaches, they should thrive there in the West. Swamiji went in the West and he never told them that, no, you get converted to Hinduism. your Christianity is not good at all. He never told, did not tell a single Christian to convert. In fact, he kept them the same names. They continued, his disciples, and the same prayers, Christian prayers also. Swamiji used to quote Christian Bible only to them, and so he never told them to convert to Hinduism. But here in India, he will very much try tooth and nail. Vehemently, he will try for Hindus not to get converted to Islam or Christianity. He won't like it at any cost. Swamiji won't recommend that, okay, you are not happy with Hinduism, so that religion is also same, Hinduism is also same, Christianity is also same, Islam is also same, you can go and come. No, this is not the thing that Swamiji would like. Then he continues. Materialism or Mohammedanism or Christianity or any other ism in the world could never have succeeded, but that you allowed them. So you allowed them to succeed in India. They would not have succeeded. Any ism that would be. No bacilli can attack the human frame until it is degraded or degenerated by vice, bad food, privation and exposure. The healthy man passes scatheless through masses of poisonous bacilli. So there may be bacteria, millions of them attacking our body. But so long we are healthy, so long our immune system is working well, we cannot be put into illness by the bacterial infection till our immunity is strong. But for a person who is eating bad food, who is starving, or who is exposed too much to the infectious things, so he is vulnerable. He is more susceptible to catch infection and get ill. So the same way, Swamiji is telling that you have become your immunity, you reduced your immunity. Your society, your civilization, your country, your nation, your masses, your religion, what happened? Why it became weak? Why it became so susceptible to illness of other invaders? Because you made yourself less immune. You made yourself less strong. That is what your fault is. But yet, there is a time to change our ways. Give up all those old discussions, old fights about things which are meaningless, which are nonsensical in their very nature. Think of the last 600 or 700 years of degradation, when grown-up men by hundreds have been discussing for years whether we should drink a glass of water with the right hand or the left, whether the hand should be washed 3 times or 4 times, whether we should gargle 5 or 6 times. What can you expect from men who pass their lives in discussing such momentous questions as these and writing most learned philosophies on them? So Swamiji is telling, see, you were busy when invaders were completely conquering you. They were disseminating your societies, your people, your masses. They were completely capturing your territories, and they were converting your people into their religion. What you were doing? Your people are busy, and you are gathering together, and what you are debating on, your discussions. Acha, what should be the right way of drinking water, whether left hand or right? He is making fun actually. Swamiji is teasing Hindus. So what he is teasing? He is teasing intellectuals. He is teasing the Brahmins who were busy all the while. Though he has not used the word Brahmins here, but what he is telling is, he is indirectly telling them. So what did you do? You were all the time busy with your philosophical discussions which were of no use to the society. You showed utmost disinterest in alleviating the sufferings of those masses. You were intellectuals. You had the capacity to go out and solve the problems of society. You could work together for them. You could go and sacrifice your life for them. You could go and ask them what are their inconveniences. But none of those things you did. On the contrary, what you did, you were discussing with each other some intricate philosophies, some discussions with some, say, for example, taking one Sanskrit word and going on dissecting that words and grammar and this and that, you were going on discussing about it, which was of no use to the masses. And by that time, when you were discussing the Sanskrit words and grammars and this and that, by that time those people came, everything they had captured. And they took advantage of your so-called, you can say, so to say, foolishness. You are so foolish. You did not realize the incoming dangers. Now, what is we are seeing? Even after 100 years, the situation has not changed. So this is the plight of India and Hindus. So then Swamiji goes further. There is a danger of our religion getting into the kitchen. We are neither Vedantists, most of us now, nor Pauranikas, nor Tantrics. We are just don't-touchists. Our religion is in the kitchen. Our God is in the cooking pot. And our religion is, don't touch me, I am holy. If this goes on for another century, every one of us will be in a lunatic asylum. So Swamiji is telling, of course, when Swamiji scolds, we have to take everything in a proper context. Otherwise, we will misinterpret or misconfuse Swamiji, what he is trying. How Swamiji is scolding Brahmins? No, he is not scolding Brahmins, or he is not scolding because they are the upholders of culture of the religion. They are the upholders of the Vedic religion. They kept it protected. Swamiji praised them in another place. Swamiji praised. But in my master lecture, Swamiji is telling, my guru was a Brahmin. And he belonged to that race. Who has protected the Vedas so far, so many thousands of years? Not a single word of the Veda could be lost because of their dedication. But he also pointed out how his guru, in spite of being a Brahmin, was a person who was so humble that he cleaned the toilet of the pariah by his own hairs. So such was his great love for even the lowest of the caste, that he went in the night. Stealthily he went, that because they won't allow otherwise. He was such a high-class Brahmin, Guru Maharaj. So he went hidingly in the night in that low caste person's house, and he cleaned his toilet with his own hair. So this is what Swamiji says, all these examples he gives. So this is the example that the Brahmins should have followed. And that's why Guru Maharaj has imbibed those, in his life he showed those qualities. That being a very high-class Brahmin also, he showed that you should show that character in your life. You should show by love and equality and this thing. So he showed that. Achandala apratihatara yasya prema pravaha. Swamiji says in that his shloka that he wrote for Guru Maharaj. What he says, that he is praising that first Rama's character, that Bhagavan Sri Rama's, what he was, Achandala apratihatara yasya prema pravaha. Lokatito api na jahau loka kalyana margav. So what was Sri Rama's character? That Achandala, he was so loving to even the Chandala. That was king. He was a Raghukula, this thing. And such a great person, great warrior, great king, and Bhagavan. And he is so loving. He did not never despised any person as a lowly or low caste or this or that, nothing. So his Achandala apratihatara yasya prema pravaha. So apratihatara means unbroken. Yasya prema pravaha. Just one whose love is so unbroken, is flowing like a stream, unbroken stream towards whom? Even up to the person of a Chandala. He is never having, he is never differentiating between people. So this is what Swamiji has always taken the avatars in that light. Swamiji has always judged the avatars. So always avatars came to spread love. They did not spread any type of differentiation and classifications or discriminations. They always told, no, accept everybody, embrace everybody. Don't disown people, your own people. Because if you disown them, then they will accept other religions. They will convert themselves to other religions. And then what will happen? Your Vedantism, your great Vedanta, your great culture, tradition, it will die out. It will completely disseminate. So this should not happen. So avatars come to revive the religion. So Sri Ramakrishna also came to revive Hinduism. So Swamiji says this. So Sri Ramakrishna came to revive, re-establish the Hindu religion. So this is what Swamiji is doing. He went to the West in Chicago. What he went there? He did not go there to preach Christianity or Islam. He preached there to preach the religion of Hindus, which is universal. And that's what he re-established it. In the world stage, now people are understanding that all the Semitic religions, how narrow-minded they are, how confined they are, and how the religion of the India is so universal. It is so time tested, so all abiding, eternal. So that is what they are now realizing. So slowly we are seeing our people, Indian people, are getting converted into other religions, and the Western people are getting converted into Hinduism. Now we are seeing people are more and more getting attracted to Vedanta. They are dedicating life to yoga, Vedanta and whatnot. But now our people in India, they are leaving Vedanta and leaving yoga and living this Hindu way of life. Why? Just because of this. The example Swamiji gave of the girl, that English girl, who left her good life and became a bad woman just because she was not getting any attention, any sympathy from her own society. From her own ladies of her own society, nobody was looking with what problem she was facing, whether she was hungry. So if she takes to wrong ways of life, immediately a club will be coming. A ladies' club will come and come to help her, to rehabilitate her. Then she will get full attention. So this is what exactly happening here. So why people are converting to other religions? Because the moment they convert, they will get full attention. So this is the thing. So now the time is up, so we will continue this lecture. Just this paragraph only is there, but it will take some time. So we will continue in the next, this month we don't have now. So next month it will come, continuation. Om Shanti 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 Harihi Om Tat Sat Sri Ramakrishna Arpanamastu.